We're live. We're live. We're live. Instagram live. YouTube live. We're here live. How's everybody doing? Look at the thousands of people rolling into this live AMA with me, Jamie, from Sessions. So we decided to do a little AMA just because there's a lot of questions around what Sessions do, who's Sessions, what does Jamie do, how many people are on the team, where do we work, how do we get into the business, that sort of thing. We're now hiring a lot of people, we're expanding, we're growing, we're working with a lot more clients. And it was time to give the people a little bit more inside sessions. So that's why we're doing this AMA. So earlier this week, we sent out a little message asking for questions that people might want to ask me. You can ask me anything. I don't care what it is. I got all types of answers and advice for anything. It doesn't even have to be weed related or me related. I'll just tell you something. So before we get into the questions, we got a bunch of questions. I'm just going to have a quick hit. I'm going to wave to you people. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is pretty fucking cool. And I'm going to hit a little dab before we get going here. It is 420. It is Friday. It's also Good Friday, so that's good. And if it's your birthday today, happy birthday. And if it was your birthday anytime before now, happy belated. My birthday is in 6 days, if anybody didn't know. Most of you probably don't. And also, I need to give a shout out to the Lost Boys on this rosin here, produced on the island. Produced on the island. We know that. That's a fact. The torch. 1 second. Back with the torch. All right, let's hit this quick. Let me know how you're doing. Wave. Look at all you people. Hey. Lost Boys rosin has been some of my favorite lately, to be honest. Hastrometer too, hitting those rosins. Little cold start dab to get this going. All right. B Kylo, what's up, man? Planet 7 Cannabis. Yeah. Marijuana. What's up, everybody? Georgia. Hey, Georgia. Okay, cool. We got a bunch of people on. Now, here's some questions that came in this week. First one that comes in is from Tiger Piff, at Tiger Piff. Question is, what are some of the Sessions team's current favorite sesh songs? That's actually a great question. Favorite sesh songs. We haven't done a lot with music at all, actually. But when we talk about music around here, we play a lot of music in the studio and stuff like that. It's mainly hip hop. It's mainly some beats. It keeps that type of vibe. That's what we're going for around here. But I mean, the team, when we talk about the team, each individual listens to their own shit. I'm mainly a hip hop guy. I'm bred on hip hop. I grew up with it, and that's kind of just set in my cells. So that's kind of the trend. There's nothing really specific, just like some good beats. All right, question number 2 from Canna Jill. Canna Jill, been following us for a long time. We've been following you back. Thanks for the question. And it is, what is the wind speed and velocity of an unladen swallow? Yeah. Okay. So ask me anything. I guess this is probably one of the hardest questions I've ever been asked. Fuck those things, those little barn swallows, man, they cruise. So wind speed and velocity has to be in the 50-kilometer range. It has to be. Velocity, honestly, I'm not even sure what that word means right now. And an unladen swallow, is that like a type of swallow? Ooh. Animal questions. Well, this is going to pass that one. Ask me anything. I'll pass if I choose, but normally I won't. Next question comes from Skate Smoke Co. Skate Smoke Co. Cheers to you. I've not heard of you before. Plans for 420 is the question. And yes, we actually have some huge plans for 420 this year. I am part of the BC Cannabis Summit. Sessions is the media sponsor, and we will be at the summit in Kelowna. It's located at the El Dorado. It's a sweet venue. They're letting us smoke on the patios. There's a couple consumption lounges. It's a 3-day event too. So it starts on 420. There will be a party going on. And my podcast will be there too. So I'll be interviewing and talking to industry professionals from all over Canada too. There's a lot of people from the East Coast coming that I haven't met before. I've been in contact with you through social media or talking about the industry and work, but it'll be great to meet some of these people. And that's what 420 is all about this year. So there's going to be a lot of smoking and some business conversations. That's what's happening. Okay, question number 4. This comes from Cannabis. Your favorite cannabis product ever? Okay, so my favorite cannabis product ever. That's a pretty good question. I mean, I smoke flower. I'm a flower man. I love flower. Lately, I've been on hitting rosin dabs. We just had the Lost Boys rosin. I've been hitting that for the last couple of weeks. But my favorite product ever, if I could choose one thing and just have that around all the time, I mean, hash is probably my ultimately favorite product on its own. And as of recently, there's a product on the legal market, actually, the hash sticks. So it's a little rolled up chunk of hash. Hash is flattened out, then they roll it up so it looks like a tube, and then you put that tube in a mouthpiece. You light it vertically. I wish I had one now that I'm talking about it. You light it and then you smoke it, and you can actually smoke that entire hash stick, and it gets you slammed, and it tastes fucking great because it's pure hash. And that's actually probably one of my all-time favorite products. If I could have that in my pocket all the time, I would. What's this? There's some Spanish coming in as a question. I don't know Spanish, so I can't answer that one. I wish I could. I'm working on my Spanish, by the way. So if there's any Spanish tutors out there that want to give me a little lesson, that could help. All right, next question. Actually, hang on one sec. I also had a joint. I want to smoke a joint. And the weed that we're smoking, just so everybody knows, because we smoke the fire around here. This is a frosted fruitcake. It's from the Legacy Market. There's no legal weed happening here. I want to have a good time. I don't want to gamble on my good time. So I got something that I know is fire. Frosted fruitcake. Anybody who spends time in the legal market, you'll be seeing frosted fruitcake start coming out in a lot of different places. I know Done Cannabis has one coming out. And then there's a couple of micros that we'll have the cut too. So look out for this one. But we've been smoking on it for about a year now. And it is a staple around here. YouTube Live, Instagram Live, shout outs. Okay, let's light this up. Next question. Born to be Wild, a buddy from back home. Spent a lot of time together. Born to be Wild asks, who gives better Eskimo kisses, Jamie or Jared? That's an interesting question, but we can't ask me. We'll have to ask the people that get the kisses. Because I would have to say I'm probably the better Eskimo kisser. That's all I can really say there. Me. But Jared would probably have a different answer. It's the people that get the kisses that would have the best answer there. We give out lots of kisses too. So if you're looking for a kiss, come on by. You'll get one. Next question. Georgia Georgia_22. What is the best memory you have from working in the cannabis industry? My best memory. Well, I have to say that the top memories come from the legacy days, pre-legalization, when I had my dispensary, and I mean, every day was an amazing day in the legacy days. First of all, the money was great, the people were great, the products were on point at that time too, right? We actually took a step back when legalization came, so those times were the best. But do I have a single memory, one single memory that is the best? I don't know if there's one time, but I mean, the people that are part of this industry, we get along, and it's just it's a good time when you're hanging out with the right type of people, and when you have weed around, if you love weed. So the legacy days, it was day after day of just good times, helping people find their products. Also, there's just a lot more money. And I have to say, that was a big part of the fun. So legacy days, that's my favorite time in the cannabis industry so far. We're going to turn it up in the legal side, though. Hopefully, maybe. Next question. Thomas Grespin. What is the hardest part of shooting cannabis? On-site versus studio. So the hardest part about shooting cannabis. Weed has to be growing properly before it can have a great photo taken. The other thing is it has to be harvested at the right time. If you're too early, you're taking photographs of an unripe cannabis plant, and you're not really representing the plant as it should be if it's just slightly too early. Some of the colors don't come out, if the pistils haven't changed to their orange color, or that sort of thing. So one of the hardest parts about shooting cannabis is timing, literally getting that timing done. So harvest points aren't exact. When you plant your weed, you're not like, okay, in 8 weeks, I'm going to harvest it here. No, you kind of have to wait for that plant to come down when it is ready. And some guys do that. Some guys don't. Some guys are on a schedule. Those bigger companies, they are on a schedule, and it comes down on their schedule, whether it's fully ripe or not. So sometimes when you are in those situations, trying to make a good plant look amazing is hard to do. And then in the studio, I mean, weed doesn't have a long time either for it to be photographed in its prime. As soon as that plant gets clipped, it starts to change. It can wilt. If it warms up, those trichomes aren't perky anymore. They kind of wilt. They'll change shape and stuff. And then immediately you have a different looking photograph than you would if it was taken a couple hours earlier. So there's definitely challenges when you're dealing with live plants, but experience and skill is what takes it, or what it takes to make a trichome pop. And timing. Make sure you're on time. What's up, people coming in? All right, another question. This one comes from the Greenhouse Advisor. What's up, Greenhouse Advisor, Jeff? Shout out. Where did you acquire your weed knowledge? Any tips to get more educated? So my weed knowledge has been acquired over many years. When I first started smoking weed, I thought this was an amazing substance. I knew nothing about it, but what it did for me was it was more than just got me high. So immediately I started putting attention into learning about this plant. Now, 15 years ago, 18 years ago, when I first got into it, there wasn't a lot of information out there. And I grew up in Saskatchewan. So there wasn't necessarily a large weed community like there is here in BC. I didn't grow up with growers. I kind of just grew up with weed dealers, and I sold weed that way. But weed, the most of my weed knowledge comes from growing the plant itself. I knew a lot about different strains, their appearances, what made good cannabis, what bad cannabis looked like. But when it came to the actual knowledge of the plant and everything about it, it comes from the growing experience. So I spent 5 years growing. My shop is shut down now. The industry has changed. Do you have any tips on the best way to convey the quality of bud to consumers in the stores? That is, there's a lot to that question, actually. Tips on the best way to convey the quality of bud to consumers. The best way is obviously to be able to show it and smell it and look at it and talk about it. That's literally the best way now. Sometimes these companies are putting a lot of work into photographs and their websites and their Instagrams. So you can show quality in a sense, but smoking quality, it's very tough to convey that to people. It's tough in this legal market to just represent and show off great cannabis. What's up, people showing up, waving? Yeah. Okay, next question. Smelly Melly 88 asks, qualities you look for when buying weed. So when I'm buying weed, and we're going to talk about legacy here. We're not talking about looking at a bunch of plastic containers in the dispensary. When I'm buying weed, what do I look for? Well, one of the first things I look for, and you use your eyes, it's bag appeal. I don't have to open the bag to smell it or anything like that. I just need to see it. And if it has the right look, which is a trichome dense, well-trimmed, it doesn't even necessarily have to be hang dried, even though you can tell when it is or not. The appearance, what's the question again? Qualities you look for in buying weed. Yes, the appearance. It has to look good. I do like weed that is colorful, but it doesn't have to be colorful. It properly grown, like Kush mints, you're not going to find a lot of color in there. There's no real purples. It's going to come out more of a light green. So yes. Now, when I continue, I open up that bag and I smell the nose. If I get some gas notes in there with some floraliness, like this frosted fruitcakes, it's similar to like Runts. It's similar to Gelato 33 in the sense that it has a floraliness with a sweetness and a gassy end. Those are very popular strains. And if I smell that immediately makes the inside of me happy. It's a part that I can't control. I'm just smell it and I'm like, yes, that's what I want. So yeah, that's what I look for. And then I smoke it. And if I don't like it, I don't smoke it again. But if I do like it, I'll allow everybody to know about it. I'm getting a little torqued. All right. Next question. Do you have any legal weed products you'd recommend to a legacy guy? Yes. Okay, I do. There's a couple out there now. There is a couple. Like I said, the hash stick. If you haven't heard me talk about it yet, the hash stick. Okay, we've seen these in the legacy days for a few years before legalization. I thought they were a great product. Pure hash. And what it is just hash that's flattened out. Then it's rolled up in a stick so that it looks like a little tube. You light the end of that. And there's a gram in those sticks. It burns for about a half an hour. It's great for one person. It's great for a lot of people. But the taste and the flavor, and as long as that is good hash, you're getting a good experience. So I would recommend those. Every one that I've had, I've been impressed on. They've been great. When it comes to flower, though, there's some great companies out there. But it can be a gamble. It's a tough sell. I have trouble recommending anything to my legacy friends about the legal market. I really do. Because batches aren't consistent. You can't see the product. You're relying on a bud tender. And a lot of people that I like to recommend weed to is they know what they're talking about. And straight up, I don't want to lose friends. So the hash sticks, tried the hash stick. I don't even remember the name that it came from. The brand name, I don't remember. It's somewhere around here. But ask for the hash sticks. Seems like all the bud tenders and all the stores know about them. They're becoming popular. Next up, what do we have? We got Kayla Marie Mann. Kayla. Shout out, Kayla. What motivated you to work in the cannabis industry? Well, it didn't actually take much motivation. The first time I smoked weed, she went out. I've been talking too much. The first time I smoked weed, I knew there was something about this product that was different than anything I've had before. And I knew I wanted to know more about it. I wanted to be a part of it. I actually wanted to know everything about it and why it existed and why aren't we using it more? You know, back when I was 13, it was illegal highly in Saskatchewan. And I had a lot of questions. I thought it helped me. I thought it benefited me. I thought it opened up my mind. And I always wondered why it had this stigma around it. So as I got into more of knowledge and deeper into the industry with selling weed, and then I started growing, it was just a natural evolution. I don't think it was a decision. This, I just love it. I love everything about it. Somebody says Coast Mountain Cannabis, Pure Cake Skunk has been consistently great. And I will agree. I've had it once. I just had it last week. It was sent to me. I did a little review. It was fucking fire. I agree on that. Coast Mountain. Look out for Coast Mountain. So far, so good. I had 2 strains. They had a Coast Mountain Pemberton Pink. That's what it was. A pink Kush version. Also very good. Super gassy, actually. One of the gassier strains out there. It didn't look that great, but it was good. Actually, when it comes to the question of what do I look for in weed, when I seen that Pemberton Pink, I was like, ooh, probably stay away from it, actually. But because it was a review, I smoked it and it was fire. It actually was fire. It burnt great. So sometimes appearances aren't everything. Next question. We're going with Jay Shibes. Who else is part of Sessions? What do they do? Oh, we actually have quite a big team now. So Sessions has been together in our studio here for just over a year and a half. And then we have like the core 4 people. 4. There's me. Then there's Jared Kylo. He is in charge of website building, a lot of computer stuff that I can't even really like speak on, but he does, hits the keyboard a lot and makes things happen on the screen, and it keeps the technology and everything together, and websites. He does websites. We build websites here. Design. He also does design too, all kinds of things. Then we go to Vince. Vince, his background is photography, videography, marketing. So he does photography, videography, and marketing. That's one of the main things there. Then we have Matthias, part of the core 4, videography, photography, same sort of thing. That's what he does. And then we have some other people that work on projects with us. We have some designers, graphic designers. We have some other editors. We have a podcast that happens. So we have an editor that puts that together. We also have a photographer now that comes to shoots with us, and she does some work on her own now. That's Georgia. And who else we have? We have Thomas. Thomas Grespin does social media management. We have a lot of clients that need social media help, and we're pros in that now. And then Julia just joined the team a couple weeks ago as our marketing manager. She's going to have a lot of hats to wear working in this company, but she's coming in hot with some fresh ideas. And then, did I miss anybody? Did I miss anybody? Roll of Fishers. Shout out Roll of Fishers. If nobody knows about them, check them out. Saskatchewan brand in Saskatoon, and some fire coming out of that facility. Woo. Okay, next question. I'm having trouble reading now. Biotic Green. What are some brands you've worked with? Do any stand out as favorites? Okay, so we have quite the list of brands that we've worked with now. We've worked built micro brands, worked with established LPs, taking photos and all that sort of thing. So between the micro and the LP, there's a clear separation of who's better to work with. Micros are a lot more fun to be in. There's a lot of steps to go through to get inside of an LP facility. There's just more regulation that happens going on in the LP facility. So I definitely love working with micros. And typically the weed that comes out of the micros, not even typically, the weed that comes out of micros is better. There is some LPs out there. I don't want to hurt all of your feelings. You're doing good work out there, but the micros are doing the most good work. And then specifically, who do I have most fun working with? Well, I have to talk about Cake and Caviar. Obviously, one of my favorites. They have the most unique agricultural system out there for cannabis right now. It's the aquaponic system. So when we go there, there's a lot to look at. The fish are fun to look at. The weed is fun to look at because it's fire. It's the people are a big part of making our jobs fun too. So the people at Habitat and Cake and Caviar are great people. Shout out to all of you, Rudy, Kayla, and the whole team, and Ryan, obviously, but the whole team. I can't name all your names right now. I can barely name mine. Then Pistol in Paris. Again, when we're talking about the people and the experience, Dylan King from Pistol in Paris is great to work with. Great guy. Dunn Cannabis, Logan Dunn. Also, just it's the people. It comes down to the people. You got to have good weed, but the people that know what good weed is are usually the type of people that we would like to keep around. So there's a lot more micros coming up too that we'll be working with. Though I'm just naming out a few there, but party on micros. LPs, you got to do some better work out there, but you got your own game, whatever. Let's keep it going. Let's get another question. Biotic Green. What are some brands? Oh no, I just did that one. Fuck, I am stoned. Seedrop, Cass, you were just in for a podcast the other day. Where do you get your weed? She says. Well, I get my weed from a lot of different sources now. The black market, the legacy market is kind of diminishing in certain ways, but it's also very alive in others. There is some legacy guys doing amazing work out there. That is where the premium products are. So I get my weed from legacy growers, dealers, hash makers. That's where I get my shit because I know I'm going to have a great experience. And then when it comes to legal weed, obviously I do reviews. So I'll go out and I'll buy new shit. It's a gamble every time. No lies. It is a gamble. So I can't say that I have a go-to necessarily on the legal side all the time. I like to mix things up. So trying new weed all the time in the legal market is break the bank, man. You just can't do that. People know that. Part-time weed. Legal weed. Okay, what's next? The Autoflower Show. Shout out. Lost Boys. Are there any good concentrates out there on the legal market? And how about Legacy? Got any faves? So good concentrates. There's been a few out there in the past. But again, I don't really focus on concentrates in the legal market. And here's why. Rosin, when we're talking about rosin, the amount of time it takes to get pressed and then to get to the consumer is about 4 to 6 weeks and even longer. But by that time, those terpenes that make rosin so great have off-gassed. They're gone. They've evaporated. They go at room temperature. They start to off-gas at 4 degrees Celsius, 6 degrees Celsius. But at room temperature, when you keep rosin for 4 to 6 weeks at room temperature, you're losing all kinds of flavors. So the experience is down. And that goes the same with live resins and other sorts of things like hash. But when we talk about concentrates on the legal market, there is some good products out there. Purple Hills with their lemon pepper batter, that was fucking fire. I know it's still out there. I've been through it quite a bit though. So it's not something I still smoke. I've kind of been over it, moving on. Like to move on. I don't like to sit and smoke on anything for too long. The terp combinations keep changing and the new breeding happening. So there's always new flavors. What's up, everybody? Look at all you people. So I'm wrecked right now. That frosted fruitcake got me. Okay, we'll do 2 more questions. 2 more questions. Chafes. S Chafes. Chafes. Are you pumped for the 420 Summit event? What is Sessions going to be doing there? Yeah. I'm pumped for the 420 event. I spoke about it in another question previously, but that's what we're doing for 420. And I am excited. I'm excited to meet all those industry people that I have not met, especially from the East Coast. There's a lot of people coming in. And what is Sessions going to be doing there? Well, we have our podcast moving in, so we're going to be able to talk and record to a lot of people in the industry and what they do, so others can hear. And the other thing too is we're bringing our photo booth skills to the table too. So we'll have a photo booth, we'll have a backdrop up in the smoking lounge. So anybody that's getting high with their friends, they can come by, take a photo. We'll be able to print it out right there. And then you have a little memorabilia from the event too. So I'm also on a panel. I'm speaking on a panel a little bit about some retail stores and what the future is for retail. I'm doing something else. There's something else there. Something coming in here. Ironically, Diamond Concentrates just joined. Aha. That would be my recommendation for concentrates in the legal market. And you're absolutely right. I actually know the Diamond Concentrate guys a little bit from before. So fire from before, they're going to have the fire in the legal side too. So look out for Diamond Concentrates. I specifically remember them for having large diamonds in their live resin and caviar and diamonds with sauce. So size doesn't matter, but you do like to look at bigger things sometimes. Okay, 1 more question. Maybe 2. See how I feel. How long are we going? Any questions out there from the people? Okay, back to the sheet. Okay, so Michael R. Eager. Are there any projects you guys have done that stand out? Well, yeah. Ultimately, the one project that does stand out to me because it was an experience for not only me, but the entire Sessions team that went out to it was the Pistol in Paris video that we did. So Pistol in Paris, Dylan wanted a promotional video representing their brand and what they're about. So we went out and a helicopter was involved. Some great people were involved. We got to see parts of BC that nobody would ever see unless you're actually in a helicopter and you get to fly over it. It was amazing. That part of it was, and then of course, Dylan King and the Pistol in Paris team are great people. So that made up for, that didn't make up for anything. That was a part of it. That was great. That one ultimately stands out to me just because of that. I got to smoke weed in a helicopter. That's why. Literally. You did it. Check that off the bucket list. Let's do another question. I'm still here. I'm still smoking. People are still here. Thousands of people are rolling in. This is great. All right. Let's do one last question. Well, Greenhouse Advisor says, what are Sessions plans for next year? Next year, like the rest of 22 or 23? That's interesting. Greenhouse Advisor, you should specify. So for the rest of 22, we have some plans to we're going to be on the island again in May. We're in Edmonton shooting with Tuna and Herba Herba Farms, and they're located in Regina. They're going to have tuna strains, so we'll be in Edmonton. We'll be in Regina shooting that, and then we'll be we'll be on the island in a few weeks. Back to Sitka. Then we are in Saskatoon working with Mother Labs in the end of May. We're doing something actually with Fistel and Paris here end of April, just photo shoot. And then in July, we hope that we are in Germany for HamCan. I think that would be a great experience. And we want to start to get the Sessions name out internationally. And then after that, I mean, we should be in Ontario for about a month. There's a lot of companies that that we want to work with. We've been in communication with, so we will find ourselves in Ontario for a little bit of a trip. But next year, 2023, we love the island so much. So we're actually hoping that we open up an office on the island. We're looking to grow our team. So there's a lot of great creators on the island. There's a lot of great weed on the island. So we'll have a Sessions house in Victoria, Sessions house here in Kelowna, traveling around all BC, doing our thing. That's what's up for the next year or so. And we also have our new, fuck, am I ever high? I can't even speak. Let me put that down. We have a new series coming out. It's called All Fire, No Mids. And it's our adventure travel series where we document what we do when we travel around to these facilities and take photos. And then there's also great experiences around it. So that will be coming out. And I think that's it. Any more questions? I'm going to wait for a couple more questions to come in. If anybody wants to say anything, wave. Thank you all for joining. Thousands of people came in today. This was fucking sweet. So yeah, this is what's going to happen every Friday at 4:20. Just a little AMA with Jamie, and we'll smoke some weed together. I'll answer your questions. Ask me anything. I mean, the bird question got me. I didn't have an answer for the bird question, but I will have an answer for almost anything else. Just ask me anything. Thomas Gressman says, what's going with the autos? So yeah, we're doing a little project for Atlas Seed Co. They're a seed company in the States. They sent us some seeds. They're like, we need some good photos of our flower. And because we couldn't go to the States at that time, we have them here. They're upstairs in a tent, growing them out. They got a couple weeks left. One is actually being photographed right now because it finished early. Actually, it finished on time. We have 5 strains, and it was the earliest finisher. So it's getting photographed now. 4 more upstairs, getting ready for photos. That's what's going on. Shout out Atlas Seed. Shout out Atlas Seed. Shout out all the weed professionals. What kind of conditioner do I use? It's that one part. It's that body wash, hair wash, Old Spice. One step, man. Just one squeeze, boom. I'm in and out of those showers. No, that's a great question, though. My hair's fantastic. Wave, what's up? What's up? So I'm just finishing up here. That's the end of today's AMA. What's that? Yes. That's the end of it. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. I'm wrecked. Those are great questions. And I'm looking forward to more. Ask me anything. See you later. Exit. End. YouTube. And stream YouTube. Bye, YouTube people. Oh, there's some questions there. I didn't even see that. Here's a little YouTube bonus. The Instagram live ended, but if you're still on YouTube, there's one more question. Born to be Wild asked, which staff member would win in a blindfolded baseball bat fight? That's almost a dark question, but I'd have to say me. I'd definitely be swinging. I'm not going to lose. It's one hit, you could be done. You want to make sure you're swinging big and taken out first. So I'd have to say me. Matthias has some height, though. I think there's an advantage when you have some height. So he'd be swinging more down, and, I'd have to try and swing up. And then Jared's shorter, so it's tough. It's tough. That is a good question. But I'd have to say me. Okay, cheers. That's the YouTube bonus. I'm ending this. See you next Friday.